On this episode of Explorer Television, we head to the adventure town of Riggins, Idaho for jet boating, river rafting, and fishing.
You've probably never heard of the tiny town of Starbuck, Washington, but we'll pay them a visit to check out a pretty amazing tackle shop and get some tips on casting for sturgeon in the Snake River. And we'll do some skeet shooting with our friends from Northwest Pony Express.
But first, we're in the Silver Valley. Grab your hard hat and pick. We're going gold mining.
Thank you for watching Explorer Television. If you're just visiting for a weekend or if you've been here all your life, we'll show you the best places in the inland Northwest to explore. Now, here are your Explorer guides, Rick and Teresa Lukens. This portion of Explorer Television is made possible by the North Idaho Tourism Alliance, the Silver Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Before visiting the mine, you might want to stop here in Wallace at the Wallace District Mining Museum. Here you can get a lot of perspective on the history of mining in the Silver Valley.
We're already learning a lot from Jim McReynolds. Thank you for being here.
And welcome to Wallace District Mining Museum. We've been a museum for 53 years, so we have quite an accumulation of interesting things to look at. Come on back here and look at some of our great displays that we have on the history of mining as far as the evolution of the technology of the mining, life in a mining camp, mining town, and also the professional support to the mining community. You can spend 20 minutes a day, several days wandering around here.
One of the things that you can learn here is that they call it the Silver Valley, but they've pulled a lot of different minerals out of the ground here.
That is absolutely correct. Back in 1883, there was a gold rush up in the Murray area. Okay, that petered out after a few years, and in 1884, we made the first galena strikes on this side. And that's a lead-silver ore, and things got going. The Bunker Hill burst out, and the big bonanza in 1885, and things really got rocking on this side. Everything kind of moved over to this side, and we've become known as the silver capital of the world here. We've produced more silver here over the last 125 years than any place else on the planet. Over 1.2 billion ounces of silver, and that's with a B. And yes, we're still mining today. In 2007, we mined over $127 million worth of metals, and the numbers for 2008 should be much higher. Besides the mining things that we have in here, we have the last stoplight that was on I-90 between Seattle and Boston. So until 1991, everybody had to drive through Wallace.
I'm getting the impression, just talking to you, Jim, that this town, this valley, did a pretty good job of documenting and saving things so you could have a museum like this.
It was absolutely amazing, and the mining companies and the business communities around has been very supportive of the museum and donating both photographs, documents, maps. We have just over 1,000 historical maps that relate to mining claims, diagrams of the mines themselves, to maps of the districts, to the water system here in Wallace.
Well, if you want to know more about mining and the history of it in the Silver Valley, the Wallace Mining Museum, right here in the town of Wallace, and Jim and his crew here will be happy to tell you just about anything you need to know.
Absolutely. Come on down and see us.
Before Kellogg, Idaho was known for great skiing and tourism, it was a mining town.
This is the Crystal Gold Mine. It's more than 100 years old, and a trip through this mine turns out to be a great history lesson on how people used to live their lives here in the Silver Valley. Bill Lane is the owner of the Crystal Gold Mine here in Kellogg. And Bill, you didn't stake this original claim, did you?
No, this is an old mine. The nearest we can tell from looking up the records, this is the first mine in the valley. They mined it for 3 years, and then in 1881, blasted the hillside down, covered the mine, and it stayed that way until 91.
So what kind of things came out of this mine?
It was
what
gold.
were they mining? It was gold.
Yeah. You can tell a quartz vein going in. That's what they were mining. And back further, we'll be able to see some gold that's visible in the quartz.
Have you pulled any good-sized chunks of gold?
No.
Something you want to share with me there?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to head back there with a pick. We better let Bill lead the way here.
Okay, we'll come in this way.
All right.
In 1880, when its mine was done, they didn't have electric lights. They didn't have flashlights. All they had for light was a candle. You know, you needed a light to hit the steel to drill. The man that was shoveling would use the same light. He'd shovel into the mine car. When he had the mine car full, he didn't need a light. He was head down and push the car outside in the dark. When we came in, everything was so dirty you couldn't see any quartz. So I took a hose and I washed the quartz off, and when I did, I found this right here. And you look in there, you can see some visible gold right there. Now right here, you're 550 feet in the hill. You go that way, is 900 feet to the trees. 2 men would have done this work on the walking tour, would have done this work in 10 months' time.
Just ahead on Explorer Television, we visit Darver Tackle in the tiny town of Starbuck, Washington. We'll learn about catching the elusive sturgeon. And then it's off to Uniontown in the Churchyard Inn. We're going to spend the night in a convent.
Up next, grab your shotgun. We're going skeet shooting with our friends from Northwest Pony Express and the Coeur d'Alene Skeet and Trap Club.
And still to come, Riggins, Idaho, where there's an adventure waiting for the entire family.
If you're looking for an exciting and affordable adventure, come to the Lewiston-Clarkston Valley, the gateway to Hell's Canyon. Enjoy a historical tour through North America's deepest river gorge, one of Mother Nature's masterpieces. Plan a refreshing retreat, only 99 miles south of Spokane, offering riverfront lodging, restaurants, and award-winning wineries. The area is rich in cultural experiences and entertaining festivals and events. For more information and getaway packages, visit our website at hellscanyonvisitor.com. Your adventure is waiting in the Lewiston-Clarkston Valley, gateway to Hell's Canyon.
Wolf People offers a unique selection of clothing and other items bearing wolf and Native American themes. Explore us today and enjoy a close-up encounter with a timber, Arctic, and tundra wolf. The staff at Wolf People are dedicated to educating the public about these beautiful animals, and we promise your visit to Wolf People will be a rewarding experience you'll always treasure. Explore Wolf People in the scenic Selkirk Mountains near Lake Kokalala off Highway 95 in northern Idaho and help preserve a piece of the wild.
You want to know anything about guns in the inland Northwest? A good place is Northwest Pony Express here, right along Highway 95 in Coeur d'Alene. Joe Ellithorpe with Northwest Pony Express. You've got it all from shotguns right down to even antique handguns.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of everything. I just kind of laid out a kind of a smattering of some revolvers and some semi-automatic handguns.
This is something we would have seen in an old TV Western here.
Well, yeah, actually this would go back before those TV Westerns. This is a an 1874 period Colt single action. It was actually a military issue firearm. Bears all of the Ainsworth inspection marks, matching cylinder, and this is actually the same style gun that James Arness, as alias Matt Dillon, would have carried in Gunsmoke. No different, actually.
Well, and then I mean, you compare it to this this modern day Smith & Wesson, where the cylinder comes
Swings
completely out. Yeah, this one had to be loaded just one at a time. As you
Yeah,
went along.
what we did here is you put the gun on a half cock position, opened the loading gate, and then you just rotated the cylinder till you could load your cartridges. And then after you'd fired all your cartridges, you used the side rod ejector here to extract and eject the spent cases. We really feel that as a school solution, the double action revolver is pretty tough to beat for most things, and especially if people are not of a shooting sports kind of lifestyle. In other words, if they don't shoot for fun and enjoyment. From an actual practicality standpoint, if you're an aficionado, a pistolero, so to speak, then obviously a semi-automatic handgun has some advantages. But other than that, the double-action revolver will take care of a lot of things.
This place is absolutely loaded with, I'm talking rifles, shotguns, the handguns, from antique to completely state-of-the-art things. Yeah. I mean, I could spend 2-3 hours in here with Joe telling me about each and every one of them. What's your passion?
Well, my passion, I think, would probably be upland game hunting with a great German short hair at my side and a nice double shotgun in my hand. You know, pheasants or quail or.
Well, and I've got Teresa waiting over in the shotgun area for you.
Why don't we slip on over there and take a look? Great. All right, Teresa, here you are.
Yeah, so we're going to talk shotguns.
We're going to talk shotguns.
All right, how are they different from a rifle or any other gun in the store?
Well, the rifle, the pistol, the revolver, all shoot a single projectile. So you're shooting a single projectile at a single spot. And normally you'd be shooting at a stationary target if with any luck at all. But with a shotgun does not shoot a single projectile in most cases. You can shoot a single projectile out of a shotgun, but that's not what we're addressing today. This is these are both trap and field guns that are designed for shooting moving targets, clay pigeons, quail, doves, ducks, you name it.
I'm ready to give it a try.
Oh, I think you're going to have a good time.
I'm ready.
I'm looking forward to it. Well, here we are. JD.
Joe,
Good to see you.
Rick.
JD, Rick Lucan.
Nice to meet you,
Teresa
JD.
Wiggins.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to Coeur d'Alene Ski and Trap Club.
Thought we'd come out and have a little fun.
Okay.
Even in the snow, huh?
Even in the snow, bring the family. On behalf of the board of directors and all of our members, we'd like to welcome you to the club. And let's go shoot some skeet.
All right.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
Right this way.
After a short lesson on how to use the shotgun and get the proper aim, Rick and I try our hand at skeet shooting.
Rusted metal, it shine like silver. She digs the leather in my devil's dice. She pulled the door shut, I pull her closer. Turn the key, but she don't play nice. I turn the key, pull her to me. Why won't you just play nice?
Now, you didn't know this, but we were shooting Governor Butch Otter's shotgun, autographed by the governor of Idaho. This was a prize in the Governor's Cup, which was held here at the Coeur d'Alene Skeet and Trap Club last August. JD, thank you very much.
It was our pleasure, Rick. Teresa?
Thank
come
you
back
very
and
much.
say
It was a lot of fun. I'm going to come back when it's warmer, though.
Okay. North Idaho, Joe.
Hey, JD.
Pleasure having you.
Always a pleasure. buddy.
Pleasure having you.
And
back.
Joe, thank you very much
Oh,
also.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
We'll have more Explorer Television when we come back. Stay with us. It's a small town with a big love for the outdoors. Up next, we head to Starbuck, Washington, where a tackle shop is making headlines. We'll meet the owners of Darver Tackle.
Plus the Churchyard Inn, a wonderful bed and breakfast in the little town of Uniontown near Lewiston and Pullman. We'll show you why this place is a must-see. Hi, we're in Starbuck, Washington today. Starbuck just one of 2 towns in the county of Columbia in the state of Washington. And we are at Darver's Tackle. It's a fascinating store, and if you're a fisherman in the area, then you know about Darver's Tackle. And this is Verna, one of the owners.
We have people from all over the Northwest now that stops here, and sometimes just specifically comes here for this shop. It's a wonderful recreation area in the summertime. The waters are warm and there's a lot of boating, and there's lots of campgrounds. RVs and tenting is also available. It's just a neat place to come to.
Well, we know where to go fishing right here in Starbuck. Let's find out how to catch those fish. Rick is talking tackle with Darcy.
I mean, we're out in the middle of nowhere, and this is just full of fishing gear that you'd find in a big city.
That's true. We've got over 400 rods right here in the stores. The reels consist of about 250. We probably have the widest variety in this area.
You can pretty much fish for all species around here. How does it all break down throughout the year?
Certain times of the year, like the winter months, it's basically steelhead. As it warms up, by then we get the perch and the crappie, and this brings a lot of the people in there. Then we have the walleye that are starting right now. We'll go into spring Chinook season, and from that point on, everybody at that point is still doing their sturgeon fishing and walleye fishing.
Yeah.
And then it goes to salmon season, but then we also have catfish. We have people that come over from the coast just to fish catfish.
Really?
Yeah.
When you're fishing for sturgeon, of course, or other fish, the important thing is to get out into the middle of the river. If you don't have a boat, obviously you need the right equipment. Are you pretty much set up for that here?
We are, and it's called a long distance cast or plunking. Some people have it named as plunking, but it's just distance to get out to where you want to be on either a reef or on an old road bed here in the Snake River where the fish are coming across the top of it. We try to target those areas, and sometimes it takes a long rod to do that kind of distance, even on the smaller fish.
You want to try it out?
Sure, you bet. When we're plunking and long lining down here at Little Goose, what we're trying to do is, using that point there for an example, there's an old road bed that they cross over, and it's shallow. All them steelhead or salmon come up and over that road bed. We try to cast and hit that road bed when it's 100 plus yards out there.
Yeah.
This is just what they call a real light plunking rod. And this is what they call a Pendle the rocking of your sinker. You're actually letting it hang out there a little bit farther, and you're going to use the timing. Have you ever casted one?
No, I never have. You want me to try?
Sure.
Now I can look like a fool because I'm just a producer.
There you go.
Oh, I got something.
Yeah, but you got
backlash. Is that what that backlash
Oh,
is?
that's a mess. That's a mess.
Oh man, we're gonna get charged for this. Hey, Phil, bring the
like
camera up and get a tight shot of the mess I made for this poor man.
Well, I have special tools for that, but I didn't bring them for this segment.
Darcy and Verna, thank you so much for showing us Starbuck and introducing us to your tackle shop. It was a ton of fun.
Well, thank you, both of you, for coming and visiting us.
I'm so glad you're here to visit.
Well, I am so glad we stopped in Uniontown. Welcome back to Explorer Television. We are in Uniontown today. Uniontown located just between Lewiston and Pullman, a little bigger than a wide spot in the road. And this is Cheryl Waller at the Churchyard Inn, one of the great reasons to stop in this small town and explore. Tell us about your beautiful bed and breakfast. It has some history.
It does. It was a former convent for the Catholic Church next door. And originally it was built as the parish house for the parish priest when they built this church in 1904. This building was completed in 1905. And in 1911 was when the nuns came and turned it into a convent. The church is the very first consecrated church in the state of Washington. And in all the bricks, this building and the church were made here in Uniontown in the brickyard. So it's real special that we have Uniontown brick that's put our building together.
What are some of the most unusual things you've heard?
Well, I had a gentleman come and stay with me, and he made very specific reservation request, and it was, I want to stay in the Evergreen Room. And I said, okay. And he says, now that's the Evergreen Room. And I said, yes. And so I said, what is it about the Evergreen Room? And he said, I used to have to take piano lessons there. I'm 85, and I have a list of things I want to do before I die, and I want to sleep in Mother Superior's office. And he said they used to come in, and when they were taking piano, it was a game between the boys to try to see if they would see one of the nuns come downstairs without her habit on.
You mentioned one of the rooms being Mother Superior's room. Tell us about the other rooms.
Well, the Victoria Suite, which is our room that has a jacuzzi bathtub in it, was actually the nuns' common room where they sat and sewed and things, and there's a little bit of reconfiguration upstairs for that. But the room above the kitchen was the cook's room, and there were stairs that came down into the kitchen. At some point, no one really knows when they did away with those. The one nice thing about this place is that all the rooms were big enough that we could put bathrooms in every room.
Tell us what else, if I was going to stay at the Churchyard Inn, what else I might do in Uniontown.
We have 4 antique stores in town. We have the Sage Bakery, which is open on Fridays and Saturdays, and we always get a lot of crowds coming through for that. And we have our Damon Barn, which is our artisan barn, and in fact this weekend the Hog Heaven Band is going to be there. And they come every month, and we do swing dancing. We've had Celtic music and all kinds of things down there. I think we should have a sign at the beginning and end of town that says, welcome to Uniontown, 17 miles from anywhere. Because we are 17 miles from Moscow and Pullman and 17 miles from Lewiston and Clarkston. And then if you drive even further, say Portland, Seattle, or Boise, it's about a 6-hour drive. So we're right smack in the middle, and it's perfect.
So this sleepy little town isn't as sleepy as I thought.
No, it isn't. It's great.
Cheryl, thank you so much for having us here at the Churchyard Inn. The scones are delicious, and your bed and breakfast is beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And we'll have more of Explorer Television. We're headed to Riggins, Idaho up next. Stay with us.
Come join us on top of the world at Whitebird Summit Lodge, located at the Lockheed U Ranch. The ranch sits on 70 acres overlooking Whitebird Canyon, the Camas Prairie, and the Salmon River Basin. Whether by foot, horse, boat, or just plain relaxing, the adventure you undertake is up to you. Escape the fast road of modern society to Whitebird Summit Lodge, located next to the Nez Perce National Forest and minutes from Hell's Canyon. Your activities are endless. Call or visit our website to book your adventure today.
Riggins, Idaho is located between the two deepest gorges in North America and offers excitement for everyone. There are professional outfitters to take you whitewater rafting, hunting, fishing, and jet boating. The beautiful outdoors and annual events make Riggins a great destination any time of the year, such as Hot Summer Nights, a festival that's known throughout the Inland Northwest. Enjoy the atmosphere and affordability of a small town, the beauty of a canyon, and some fine Western hospitality. Visit our website today to begin planning your Riggins vacation.
The River Rock Cafe in Riggins. It's the perfect place to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner after a long day of exploring. Come hungry because the food is delicious and we'll serve enough to fill you up at the right price. Try our famous omelets. They're a meal by themselves. Giant, juicy hand-patted burgers, pizza piping hot from the oven, calzones, hand-cut ribeye that'll melt in your mouth. And if that isn't enough, taste our signature stuffed sandwich with your choice of filling. For the lighter side, try one of our healthy yet filling salads. The River Rock Cafe, your celebration destination on Highway 95 on the south end of Riggins.
This portion of Explorer Television is made possible by the North Central Idaho Travel Association.
Welcome back to Explorer Television. Today we're in Riggins, Idaho, where the first event of the season, or one of the first events, is the Riggins Rodeo. This is Dave Wilson. He is president for the Riggins Rodeo. Hey.
Thank you guys for showing up. This rodeo is the first weekend in May. I mean, that's early for rodeo season.
Yeah, it's kind of one thing that makes ours pretty special because it's the first rodeo of the season. The stock's really fresh, coming off the winter pastures. They're all
fresh cowboys too.
Yeah.
They're ready to go.
Yeah, they're back from their rib injuries and their ankle injuries.
Yeah.
And, what's rodeo weekend like here? Does it get a little rowdy?
Well, we go from our 400 people in town to about 5,000.
Wow.
And they have street dances, you know, on Friday nights and Saturday nights. Cowboy breakfast on Sunday mornings, a Main Street parade on Sunday.
I'm betting you're able to judge a real cowboy from a barstool cowboy because you do some cowboying yourself in real life here.
Yeah, we run 700 cattle here and raise everything right here on the Salmon River and straight up and down mountains. And this is just how we are here.
Well, it's beautiful country. Thanks for having us.
Well, thank you, folks. We appreciate it so much.
Even before rodeo weekend here in Riggins, it's beach camping and jet boating that starts early in the spring. And is this beach, would you say, typical of beaches you'll find along the river here?
Absolutely.
I mean, it looks like this sand was brought in here and placed here for the purpose of camping.
The river brings it in.
Amy, you and your husband run a service here in Riggins. Tell us about it.
We own Exodus, and we offer jet boat tours in the spring and whitewater rafting in the summer and steelhead fishing in the fall and winter.
Tell us about jet boating. I mean, I guess I know now what it is, but I didn't until I got here.
Well, jet boating is a way of seeing the river, especially if you have a short amount of time. Most of the boats will actually bring the water in through an intake and then push the water out. That's the way they move. We offer everything from half-day to overnight trips with our jet boats.
This is thought of as one of the top steelheading areas in the Northwest, but it's got to be pretty good salmon fishing in the later part, middle to later parts of the year.
That is correct. We get a good run of salmon that come through here. The fish that we are fishing for are a spring run that typically arrive in May, and the season will go out till about the middle of June.
All right, let's talk jet boat racing. Who's up for that?
That's
all right. Now that sounds like a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. We've been doing this for about 25 years. We're probably the most popular race in the series just because of the ruggedness and the pretty high class rapids that they have to go through. They go from anywhere to 60 to 120 miles an hour. It's pretty crazy.
Basically crazy people on the river. This happens. this happens. What, in the month of April?
It happens the third weekend of April every year.
Okay, and here's one of the best parts. Kim, what does it cost to come here and spend a weekend camping on this beach?
Nothing. Come enjoy it. It's wonderful. It's free to you, and all we ask is what you pack in is what you pack out.
Well, I know that next I'm going for a ride in that jet boat over there, but Amy, I understand you've got a favorite hiking place around here.
I do. I've got a great trail that I'm going to share with you too, and we're going to go hit that real soon.
And we're going to go hiking next on Explorer Television. Stay with us.
the time of your life, call Kilgore Adventures for Hell's Canyon jet boat trips and lodging. We offer jet boat tours and fishing trips in the best part of Hell's Canyon. Our Riverside Lodging and RV Park location on the Salmon River is 17 miles from the center of Hell's Canyon, the most spectacular part of the area. Kilgore Adventures' 6-hour Wild River tour takes you through the wilderness area and biggest rapids in Hell's Canyon. Call Kilgore Adventures to make your reservation for Hell's Canyon jet boat tours, fishing trips, and lodging today.
Riggins, Idaho is a great place to live. There's natural beauty and adventure at your back door. Now's the time to buy your property in Riggins. 1 to 12-acre lots are available from Salmon River Estates, right on the Salmon River. Paved roads offer easy access to the quiet and gated development near Whitebird, Idaho. The location boasts secluded country living, but nearby you'll find a hospital, library, supermarkets, a movie theater, restaurants, a golf course, and much more. For a summer home or year-round living, choose Salmon River Estates. Call for a tour today.
Escape from it all on Idaho's Salmon River. Let the escape artists at Exodus Wilderness Adventures treat you to a special getaway. From half-day to 6-day raft trips, Exodus has the adventure for you. Or jump on board our 30-foot jet boat for a thrilling high-speed ride. Anglers for the ultimate fishing experience, join us October through March for our famous steelhead season. Call or go online and make a reservation with Exodus Wilderness Adventures today.
Outstanding service and comfortable rooms in Riggins, Idaho were provided by the Best Western Salmon Rapids Lodge. Call today for your reservation.
This is such a short way out of town, and you can come out here and hike a couple miles, or you could hike for a couple of days.
Exactly. This is a never-ending trail system. You could come out here and spend an hour. You could come out here and spend 4 days. Just depends on what you like to do. This is a designated wild and scenic section of the Rapid River Exchange. And in about 5 miles, you would enter the Hells Canyon National Recreation Area, which is part of the Seven Devils mountain chain.
You're going to get some scenery, see some wildlife.
Yes, typically you would see a lot of white-tailed deer, a lot of eagles. There are a lot of quail up here. In the winter time, when the snow has pushed the larger game down, it would be typical to see an elk down here grazing along the hillside.
Well, we picked a beautiful day to
You
take
did.
a hike. It's
You
really
did.
gorgeous, but you can hike this trail system pretty much all year long.
This is a year-round trail system. This system down here sits at a low enough elevation you do not see snow on this trail for at least the first 4 miles. So if you are really cabin bound and need to hike on some dirt, this is the place to come.
Let's keep on going.
All right.
We've had a lot of fun here in Riggins, Idaho, a place where you can be as active as you want to be with hiking or jet boating, or a place where you can just plop down, relax, and enjoy the view.
Yeah, just kick back, read a book, anything you want to do. It's all here in Riggins, Idaho. And thanks to the Salmon Rapids Lodge for our beautiful rooms this weekend.
We'll see you next time on Explorer Television.